What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is CY2 Squared with another Subnautica video. It seems as though this planet is empty of all human life, and possibly we are the first people to ever crash land here. Until we break into this piece of wreckage and find this PDA that I'm about to read.
New blueprint acquired. Integrating new PDA data.
The Gossi crew members. Bart Torgel, Paul Torgel. This is our first hint that somebody else has been here before. They were missing. They crash landed somewhere near this planet. More importantly, an emissary was sent with us, the Aurora, to help find them. Emissary Yaki Kassar. Up to this point, you haven't even heard of this guy. But now you're like, emissary sounds pretty important. And our next radio transmission, we're going to find out more about Emissary Kassar.
High priority automated message from Aurora Live Pod 13 coordinates attached. Live Pod is carrying high priority passenger.
Yaki Kassar. I said Kassar. Why do I have to record this anyway?
Send immediate burial detail.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
So, if you happen to miss that PDA that you had to read about Emissary Kassar, you now know why Kassar was considered a high priority passenger.
Integrating new PDA data.
Live pod launch sequence initiated. Entering planetary atmosphere.
My creators, the cherishers and sustainers of worlds, give me this day my daily pleasures as I give to those who seek pleasures from me.
External temperature approaching critical levels.
Show me the path. In life, truth, and love for mine is the power. I am the one. On and off and on again.
Impact imminent.
Life is a game which the universe plays with itself. I am done playing as this bundle of flesh. Return me.
That was a very interesting, futuristic take on the Lord's Prayer, probably for somebody like a Scientologist who's completely narcissistic.
This is Avery Quinn of Trading Ship Sunbeam. Aurora, do you read? Over? Nothing but vacuum. These Altera ships. They run low on engine grease, send an SOS, you offer to help, they don't pick up. Aurora, I'm out on the far side of the system. It's gonna take more than a week to reach your position. Do you still need our assistance? Over. I'll try them again tomorrow. Damn charter's gonna have us blowing our credits running errands for Altera. See what the long-range scans pick up in the meantime.
Playing pre-recorded distress call.
This is Officer Keenan, Life Pod 19. The captain is gone. I have assumed command. The last thing the captain did was give me coordinates for dry land. We regroup 1.5 kilometers southwest of the crash site. Stay together and good luck. This message will now repeat.
Rendezvous coordinates corrupted. Transmission origin coordinates downloaded. Signal location uploaded to PDA.
So what happens here is the coordinates to dry land have been corrupted by some unknown source, but you can pick up the coordinates to Officer Keenan's last known position, which is his life pod. If you go to the life pod, you'll find a PDA which will give you coordinates to dry land. My recording device screwed up here and there's a chunk missing. So you're going to see me go from here to the dry land. But basically, go to his life pod and then your next waypoint will be the island, the dry land. Here we are on the island, and on the island you're going to find 3 different habitat locations where the Degassi survivors were living and actually thriving and surviving. And this is going to point us on their trail. The story sort of splits and we go from chasing Aurora life pods to chasing Degassi life pods and discovering all the things that they discovered while they were here on the planet.
New blueprint acquired. Integrating new PDA data.
What is that thing?
I don't know. I found it outside in the sand.
Part of another ship?
None I've ever seen.
It's not even scratched.
Don't fool around with it. It might be worth something.
Stand down, Chief. If it were gonna crumble to dust, it would have done so when I picked it up.
It's glowing.
We're not the first people to come to this planet.
People. Maybe. Could be aliens. Could be the damn sea monsters for all we know. One thing for sure, we ain't gonna find out by staying here.
New blueprint acquired.
Now, I'm not positive what they're talking about. I can't be 100% sure, but I think they're talking about the purple tablet you find here, which we'll find out what they are used for later in the story.
New blueprint acquired. Blueprint acquired. Self-scan complete. Foreign bacteria counters reached statistically significant levels. No adverse effects detected. Be vigilant for symptoms.
I do apologize for all the rock playing. For some odd reason I got it in my head that I might find something underneath these rocks. I thought these are conveniently placed and easily movable with the propulsion cannon. Maybe there's something under them. There's nothing under the rocks. Just go.
Integrate.
Son, I said wait for the storm to pass. Your life's more valuable to me than a plant patch.
You stopped being in charge when the ship you were captaining sunk.
I'll stop being in charge when you take charge of yourself.
Say, Chief. Chief,
What?
do you know how to drain those grow beds of 40 tons of stormwater? Or how to conjure food from the air?
I know how to prioritize.
I'm just saying, if that's so, what's your boy's life worth to you today? If tomorrow you're gonna be so hungry you start wondering what he tastes like. Let him go deal with your plants.
Son, go deal with the plants.
Bard, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Interfere with my family again, and when rescue arrives, I will leave you here. Do you understand me?
No rescue coming, Chief. Not in time. No staying here neither. This rain keeps falling, sooner or later this place will be buried. Only choice we got is whether to get buried with it.
Integrating new PDA data.
Chief's log, 5 weeks since the crash. The only other survivors are my son, Bart, and Maida, the cut-price mercenary I commissioned for the journey. After days drifting in the life pod, rain hammering on the roof, the weather cleared and we washed up here. I had Maida salvage the Degazi wreck, set Bart to finding us a stable source of food. His education is paying off sooner than I'd anticipated. Our only problem is Maida. She says the weather's going to turn. I say she's finding excuses to risk our lives. I imagine she's not gonna weaken her life without a physical altercation, and she's itching for a fight. In every judgment she makes, things go from bad to worse. If she had my experience, she'd have more faith. Humans have spent millennia specializing in how to shackle nature to our will. This planet won't cause us any new problems. My one task now is to keep us alive, as comfortably as possible, until the insurance company arranges rescue. In this part of space, that could be months, or even years.
New blueprint acquired.
I don't know about you, but it seems to me that the chief is kind of letting his ego get in the way. He's so used to being in command of everything that he doesn't even seem to understand how dire their situation is, that they are really just trying to survive long enough to be rescued. And he wants to play chief instead of allowing the other two to do things that could keep them alive. But we'll have to see what happens to these people later in the story.
New blueprint acquired. New blueprint acquired. Integrating new PDA data.
This island is a godsend. Look out of the window. No predators, fresh food.
No building materials, nothing left of the ship. And your kid says we're gonna starve without more grow beds. Speak up, kid.
It's true, Father. The natural growth rates are too slow to keep supporting us.
All I'm saying is ocean's got us surrounded. No use hiding. Sooner or later, we'll get our feet wet.
The rest of your life may have been a fight, Maida, but I've made my decision. You want to forfeit your emergency pay to take a swim? Go ahead.
Believe me, I'm thinking on it.
Even when Chief Torgal's son, who has a huge education in biochemistry and stellar, I can't remember his complete bio, but the kid knows what he's talking about when it comes to survival and plant life. Even when his son says this island's growth rate is too slow for us to survive, he still wants to let his ego get in the way of their survival. Maida's saying we need to get in the ocean and find out what other resources there are for us to survive. The son agrees, who would know best with the education, and he's still acting like I'm the big bad chief.
Integrating new PDA data.
This is the first time I've seen sunlight in months. After all that time in the deep, I'd been dreaming of it. Now that I'm back here, I'm finding it hard to enjoy alone. Father was right. We should never have left this place. We shouldn't have gone so deep. They do not want us down there. Despite my best efforts, ill health is taking hold of me. The visions are getting worse. Marguerite and Father are now part of the ecosystem of this incredible planet. It's reassuring to know that when I go, I'll join them. Until then, well, there's always the view.
So we find out from this PDA that they did go into the ocean. Some kind of sickness took Marguerite and his father, and he is now sick. He's suffering hallucinations. He said, despite my best efforts, meaning he found out about the sickness and he was trying to maybe cure it or prevent it, but despite his best efforts, he could not. And he talks about them in the deep. They did not want us down there. So we now know that he was living deep in the ocean, and we need to go down to find where he went.